All right. Now that this meeting is being recorded, welcome students from Zoom, and we also have a couple of students here at the branch. We have Ryan Benica. Today is May 8th. It's a Friday, TGIF, but we still have classes tomorrow. So, yeah, today we're going to talk about the listening component of IELTS. IELTS has four major components. We have listening, reading, writing, and speaking, which you need to get a band score for each. But it depends on the university or the institution that you're applying for kung ang nire-require lang ba nila sa inyo ay overall band score or individual band score. Okay.
5.5.
Oh, it's achievable. It's not that difficult. I believe you can achieve that in 2 months.
Oh my God.
How much do you have?
Oh, I have to get my IELTS for a week.
A week. Why so soon?
Because I have to get my visa. My intake is July 1. So I have to be at Thailand and June 3rd week of June 15th. To meet my advisors and everything.
I see.
That's why I told sir that I'm going to double time my study.
I see. Okay. But you only have a week, so it means you're aiming to take the test after a week.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Oh,
Hindi na ba pwedeng i-extend ng konti? 2 weeks?
I asked the visa. They given me 23 days. So it's so tight.
Okay. So let's talk about that later. Okay. I'm gonna give you a little bit more tips about your situation because it's a very unique situation. All right. Usually students take their time to study, like 1 to 2 months, depending on your current level. Pero 5.5 to 6. Kaya, no? Kaya. And she's a professor, so definitely I believe in your powers. Okay. So, anyways, we're going to focus today on the listening component of IELTS. And after this short discussion, I will be showing you a practical example of a listening test. We will answer it together so that I can also talk about the techniques that you should use when listening. Because the audio file is only played once. There's no way you can replay it. So it's one shot. That's it. You got one shot only. It's not easy, especially we're gonna talk about the different accents that can be used during these audios. Actually, the one that I got last night is a British accent one. And I checked my answers. One of my answers was actually correct, but the spelling was American English. Kailangan pala, pag British yung audio, British din yung spelling mo. For example, I was using the word fertilized. As you know, it's spelled with a Z, fertilized. Apparently, in British English, it's S, fertilized. So, I don't know though if IELTS will still consider that. Kasi yun lang yung mali ko eh. And I'm like, okay. Anyways, let's figure out what IELTS British Council what take or explanation they have for that. Alamin natin kay Sir Kevin later. By the way, sana naman ma-meet mo pa si Sir Kevin bago ka mag-exam. He's gonna give you a lot of tips. Lalo na sobrang crash course yung sa'yo, diba?
Super.
Okay, so he's gonna be here next week. So definitely you're gonna meet him. He's my co-lecturer. He's been in the industry for a decade. I've been here for 2 years only. But yeah. Anyways, the listening test measures your ability to understand spoken English. And the most important foundation for you in order for you to improve your comprehension and your listening skill is definitely for you to have good lexical resource, also known as vocabulary. Because definitely, if you don't understand what is being said in the audio, how can you understand the context of the questionnaire? Because it's all about technique. It's all about understanding the grammar. It's also about considering the context. And the paraphrasing, kasi hindi nila ibibigay agad ng very obvious lahat ng sagot. They would use synonymous words and phrases to actually confuse you. I believe you've taken let, right?
No.
Oh, okay. So one of the most difficult parts of the let examination is that they will provide choices that will actually confuse you because everything seems like it's the right answer. So, ganon din yung ginagawa dito sa IELTS. That's why it's not an easy test. That's why we're asking students to take their time. 1 to 2 months sana because kailangan ulit-ulit mong ginagawa yung mock test para nasasanay ka sa techniques and strategies. You know, everything you do for the first time, it's difficult. But as time progresses, as you keep practicing, it gets easy, right? So, for the ones who will take the paper-based test, napakabihira na lang po ng kumukuha ngayon ng paper-based test kasi mostly yung mga computer illiterate, lalo na yung mga nasa older bracket ng age bracket, okay? So, sila yung nagte-take ng paper-based test, which is in Pampanga. Pero kasi dito, our testing center is only accommodating computer-based. So, lahat naman din ng students namin right now, computer literate, at mahusay naman ng gumamit ng gadgets. You know, we're in the digital era, so we're expected to know how to use computers. But sometimes, kahit na ganon, may mga students pa rin na mabagal mag-type. Eh, may time limit kasi. So, speaking of time limit, it lasts around 30 to 40 minutes. 30 minutes kung paper-based kasi isasalin mo pa. Meron ka pang 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the paper, to the test paper. Unlike sa computer-based test, all you have to do is click, 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 and code or drag. Those are the things that you do once. Mamaya papakita ko sa inyo yung sample, okay? So it's so easy and convenient when you take the computer-based test. And of course, it's available at this very testing center, which is powered by British Council. Isa sa mga advantages ng mga students namin, kasama sa package na binabayaran nyo, which has 1-year validity, is to be able to access our computer rooms. Yun na rin yung mismong testing center. So, very familiar ka na sa setup, sa keyboard, and everything. Okay? So, the listening test is the first test. Okay? Why? Bakit kaya inuna ng British Council or ng IELTS ang listening? Because listening requires your laser focus. Siyempre, kailangan medyo mataas pa yung energy mo. Right? At saka, siyempre, you have to eat breakfast. You should never underestimate your physical condition when taking the exam. Because it's not just a simple 20-minute exam or whatever. It's 1 hour each for the listening, reading, and writing. Meron ka lang 1 hour break after those 3 components. And then that's it. After that, speaking. But when it comes to speaking, it's an interview. It just lasts a maximum of 15 minutes. So, hindi siya ganun ka time-consuming. But when it comes to these 3 written components of the IELTS, alam nyo naman na it takes 3 hours. And kahit na matapos kang mauna kang matapos, hindi ka pwedeng magsimula sa susunod na test, kailangan sabay-sabay kayong lahat na test takers. And you do have test invigilators that will secure na lahat leak-proof and lahat walang pwedeng mauna or mahuli and everything is settled. So, there are 40 questions. Why? Because the listening test has 4 parts. Of course, the first part is the easy one. And then, progress na siya sa mas mahirap. And that's why I'm saying you have to be physically conditioned. Kailangan walang sumasakit sa katawan mo, like masakit yung ulo mo. That's why it's very important to get enough sleep. Okay, enough sleep before the test. Karamihan kasi sa mga students nararattle, kinakabahan. So, hindi makatulog pag a few, like 24 hours prior to the test, medyo nagla-last minute aral pa. Pero ang ina-advise ko sa mga students ko, your 24 hours prior the exam date, you should not be studying at all. You should just relax your mind. Make sure that all the requirements that you need to bring, during the test day are settled and prepared, and even your outfit, of course, baka mamaya hindi mo pa na-plancha, nakakahiya naman, di ba? Pero that's not it. Kailangan din you're well dressed, okay? Maganda sana may collar. If you have a blazer, that would be good. You have to look professional during the exam. And of course, no slippers, just closed shoes for everyone and no shorts. So again, the audio is only played once. There's no replay. And once you miss out on one specific information, that's it. You have to just keep it blank, okay? So these are the parts of the IELTS listening test. We have the part 1, which is conversation in an everyday social context. Okay, for example, booking an appointment, restaurant reservation, ordering at a cafe. Number 2 is a monologue. So kung yung 1, dialogue, yung part 2 naman is a monologue. And again, social context pa rin ang ating magiging topic. Sa part 3 naman, conversation in an academic or training context. Alright? So kung akad yung kukunin mong test, syempre, academic context yung magiging audio na provided. Kapag naman general training test ang kukunin mo, are you taking the general training test? Academic, di ba? Yeah, academic. So, general training test, syempre, training context ang mapupunta sa'yo. And then part 4 is an academic lecture or talk. So definitely part 4 is the most difficult one, which means, pero lahat naman yan, patay-patay naman yung score. Okay. An example is booking a hotel room. There's going to be a conversation between 2 people booking a hotel room. So you have to be very lenient in listening for the names. The name of the hotel, the name of the one who's booking, the name of the guest, or probably the name of the street kung saan located si hotel. The dates. Dates are important. Phone numbers are important. It will be dictated, but again, once only. So laser focus talaga ang kailangan natin. Laser focus, okay? And of course, all the other details. The common question types for part 1 ay form completion and note completion. I-encode. I-encode mo yung sagot. And you have to be very careful. May instructions sa ibabaw. Your answer must not be more than a word. Or minsan naman, your answer must not be more than 2 words and a number. That's a very specific instruction na hindi nyo dapat ninineglect. Kasi baka mamaya ang na-catch mong sagot, 3 words. Ang requirement lang, 2 words. Automatically, mali yung na-catch mong sagot kasi 2 words lang yung nire-require. That's why, kailangan basahin mo ng mabuti yung instruction and makinig mabuti kasi bibigyan naman kayo ng time sa mismong exam para i-review lahat ng questions bago mag-play si audio. Kumbaga, pine-prepare na kayo, okay? Basahin nyo yung questionnaire. Ito yung hinihinging information. So, pag nag-play na si audio, alam mo na what information you're looking for. But again, it gets tricky. It gets really tricky. That's why you have to listen carefully and watch out for paraphrasing. Pwede ring dumating sa point na yung una niyang binanggit, parang yun na yung sagot. Tapos bigla niyang babaguhin, sasabihin niya, oh, sorry, I'm changing the date too. Hindi mo na narinig yung part na yon. Siyempre, that's really tricky, di ba? Kaya naman, makinig muna, wag munang mag-assume ng sagot hanggat hindi pa final yung sinasabi sa audio. Okay? Next is part 2. An example of the topic is a tour guide describing a museum. So, yung skills na required dito is understanding directions and main ideas. Okay? Usually, pag a tour guide describing a museum, may ipapresent sa inyo na illustration. So, ngayon, be very careful kasi ang hirap din pag map na eh. Naranasan mo na yun, Benica? Diba? It really requires so much attention. attention to detail, I mean. And kailangan skillful ka din pagdating sa analytical skills mo. Kasi it's not just what you're looking at, but it's also analyzing the audio with the illustration and then supplying the correct answers. That's why it requires training. Ako, aaminin ko, nung first time ko mag-take ng IELTS mock test, ang baba din ang nakukuha ang score. Actually, bumaba nga yung confidence ko nun eh. I was just getting band 5, the lowest. Pero kasi hindi yun pwede sa level ko kasi I'm a coach. Pero nagte-training pa lang naman ako nun. And I was like, really? Sa level ko? Nakaka-band 5 pa lang ako. So I realized IELTS is not just a test. It's actually one of the most it's actually top one. Most top one proficiency test in English. Okay, so the common question types are map labeling and multiple choice. Yun naman yung maganda dito. Drag and drop lang. That's the convenience of computer-based test. And multiple choice, syempre, click-click lang ng provided na multiple choice. Again, basahin mabuti yung mga choices kasi pwedeng nabanggit niya yung A, pero hindi naman pala yun yung sagot. Minsan nabanggit na niya yung A, nabanggit na niya yung B, pero C pala yung sagot. So analyze and use your critical thinking skills when listening to the audio. Am I going too fast? Minamadali ko, guys, kasi magpo-focus tayo sa pinaka mock test mamaya para mabigyan ko kayo ng techniques on the spot. Part 3, students discussing a group project. Okay, so here you have to sharpen your understanding of opinions and agreement or disagreement. So more on analytical thinking skills ulit ang may enhance dito. And of course, multiple choice and matching. And then for part 4, the most difficult part, of course, it's a university lecture about climate change. This is just a sample. Hindi naman all the time ganito. Okay, so it's a university lecture about climate change. So you need to be able to understand complex explanations and you have to be equipped with academically inclined vocabulary lexical resource. So ayun. So the common question types are sentence completion. Pero usually naman, ang nire-require lang 1 to 2 words lang naman ang inco-complete. Hindi naman phrases or long sentences, okay? So, huwag kayong mag-alala about this. Now, these are the possible band scores. If you get 1 mistake, you get the band 9. Wow. Marami kaming students na nakakakuha ng band 9. Kasi listening is... Sa listening. Kasi listening is actually the easiest of all the 4 components. And then if you make 5 to 2 mistakes, band 8. 10 to 6 mistakes, band 7. And then the list goes on. So ang kailangan mo lang naman pala para makakuha ng band 6 ay 23 to 29 correct answers. Pero at least 23 lang band 6 na agad. So, okay naman pala, no? Kayang-kaya. Sabi ko sa'yo, kayang-kaya eh. Alright, so these are the band descriptor overviews. For band 9, you are an expert user of the English language. You understand almost everything in the audio. Band 7, good to very good user, occasional inaccuracies. You have occasional inaccuracies. And then band 5 to 6, you're a competent user and you can understand familiar situations. Pero pagdating sa part 3 and 4, medyo nahirapan ka kasi it's academically inclined context. Pero yun nga, ganun talaga. Kailangan, ibig sabihin nun, mas i-sharpen mo pa yung skills mo sa English. Band 4 and below, you have limited understanding and frequent mistakes. Pero sabi ko nga, kahit na ito yung level ko, nakakuha pa rin ako ng band 5 on my first few mock tests. That's because hindi ako familiar sa flow ng exam at hindi ko rin naman alam kung anong i-expect ko that day. Okay. These are the common listening challenges. Different English accents. So ano ang mga posibleng lumabas sa audio mo? Pwedeng British accent, international or American accent, which sanay naman na tayong lahat, di ba? Mga Pilipino, exposed tayo sa ganyan. And then we also have the Australian accent. Sadly, we also have Australian accent and it's the most difficult one. Pero hindi ibig sabihin pag international American accent, ibig sabihin madali na ha. Because there are some Native American accents na mahirap intindihin. Oo, too slang at masyadong mabilis magsalita. I think people from Texas, I think, they kind of talk in a way wherein parang cowboy talk. I can't imitate it, but my friend Tim, he's American. We were talking about that the other day actually, and he was like, "Hey, I have a friend. His name is Peter. You're gonna meet him. You might not be able to understand how he talks because he has this really strong native accent because he's from Texas." And I'm like, "Hey, don't worry. I'm used to it." Kasi ina-enhance ko talaga yung listening skills ko. I had a website. Hindi ko na kasi maalala yung name ng website. Ginagamit namin kasi yun sa work before. Pinapakinggan ko yung mga audio nila. Nasanay tuloy ako na intindihin kahit sobrang kapal na ng native accent ng mga Americans. So, ganoon din yung kailangan yung gawin. You need to train your ears. Okay? Alam ko marami sa inyo mahilig manood ng K-drama at ng mga Filipino drama din. Or kung wala kayong time manood, podcast. We have so many online resources. We're living in the digital era. Wala ka ng excuse para hindi i-sharpen yung listening skills mo. Let's say you're gonna drive to La Union. That's a 5-hour drive, 4 to 5 hour drive, depende sa'yo kung gaano ka mabagal or mabilis mag-drive, di ba? Why don't you use that time to listen to podcasts in English? Yung unang hour, Australian English, Australian accent pakinggan mong podcast. Sa pangalawang hour, yung American naman. Sa pangatlong hour, yung British naman. So, hindi pa tapos yung biyahe, you've been multitasking and that's amazing, right? Kasi somehow natitrain yung ano mo yung tenga mo. And of course, when you hear it, your brain is also being trained, right? So, another challenge is fast speech and linking sounds. Yung pag binablend na ng mga Americans yung mga words. In Canada, can you tell me, paano mo describe yung paano magsalita yung mga Canadians? British. Oh, yeah, really? Why? Why do you think so?
Like forward.
Most Canadians?
Yeah.
Really? I think meron nga particular area sa Canada or city wherein parang nasa Europe ka daw. Which place is it? In Alberta, Canada. Aha, okay. That's why my friend says, if ever you're gonna migrate, go to Canada kasi parang bumisita ka na rin sa Europe, sabi niya, and stuff like that. Anyways, distractors and paraphrasing. This is what I was talking about earlier. There are so many distractors. Why? What are these distractors? They're not gonna give you away the answers. They're gonna use a lot of paraphrasing. They're gonna use implied messages in audio context, which will confuse your brain. But if you are good in your critical thinking and analytical thinking, definitely you can decode the message. Okay? Spelling mistakes. Eto, spelling mistakes. Kagaya nung sinabi ko kanina, yung word na fertilized. Pwede rin yung word na behavior. Kasi in British English, B-E-H-I-O-U. Sorry. Behave. B-E-H-A-V-I-O-U-R ang behavior. Pero sa American, it's B-E-H-A-V-I-O-R. Behavior. Right? So, ganito na lang. Para safe yung sagot nyo, pag American accent, use the American spelling. Pag British accent, use the British spelling. Kaso nga lang, kailangan aware ka kung ano yung British at saka yung American spelling. Okay, losing focus during the recording. Ayan. So, paano bang maggagawin natin pag nabaktawan na? Alam mo yung word na baktaw? Nalagpasan mo na yung isa, hindi mo na kasi pwedeng i-replay. You have to keep up with the audio track at isalba mo na lang yung mga susunod pang sasagutan mo. Kasi if you focus on that one particular number na hindi mo nasagutan, it might distract you and it will take away more points from you. So much better, kailangan meron kang good moving on skills. You have to be good at bouncing back from failure, okay? This is applicable sa test, pero applicable din to sa totoong buhay. Huwag natin masyadong tambayan yung mga taong hindi worth it. Huy, bakit ganon? So what I mean is, you easily move on from situations, right? Or mishaps in life. I feel like we all have different emotional quotient level. Pwedeng ako, I am strong emotionally. Pwedeng ikaw, you take your time. But that's okay. But I really think a person who can easily bounce back from failure doesn't focus on the negativity. That person can progress easier and faster in life, whether it's in career or in a certain area of your life, okay? So don't lose focus. It's very important to have laser focus. Sobrang tahimik sa loob ng testing center. Pero pwede kang madistract sa katabi mo. Baka kasi nagfi-fidget siya. Baka kasi binabawal naman yon yung like itatap yung ng ganun yung desk or whatever. So ikaw din kailangan discipline ka rin. Don't create noise para naman consideration sa mga kasama mo, okay? So it really requires laser focus. Ako ang ginagawa ko, I actually close my eyes para hindi ako ma-distract. I close my eyes. Pero syempre, not all throughout kasi nagtitingin ka ng mga posibleng sagot eh. Pero there are times na I close my eyes because I just really want to focus sa anong sasabihin niya. Tapos pag alam ko na okay, yun na yung sagot. Okay, yun na. Ilalagay ko ng ganun, okay? So, these are the strategies. Read the questions before the audio starts. Wala kang magiging problema dito kasi nagbibigay sila ng a minute. A minute ba yun? Parang matagal din eh. Yeah. They give you a minute to look at the questions para handa na yung utak mo sa kung anong hahanapin mong information. And there's also an option for you to underline keywords and to highlight them. Okay? So, ganun ka-convenient si computer-based test. Para naman, pag narinig mo sa audio, okay, nagmamatch siya dun sa hinighlight ko. Okay? So, madali na lang i-navigate yung page, yung website. Listen for paraphrasing, not exact words. Yes. Minsan kasi nakakalito pag exact words lang yung pinakinggan mo. It's much easier for you to understand what's being said in each phrase than exact words. Because exact words are not parallel to the right answer all the time. There are times that it is parallel, there are times that it's not. Write answers quickly and move on. Okay, kung magkaroon ka man ng spelling mistake, mamaya mo na lang siya checkan pag tapos na lahat. Kasi may time pa rin naman to go over everything and to check the spelling. Be very particular with spelling kasi spelling means wrong spelling is wrong, okay? And another way for you to identify if your answer is actually correct, kung grammatically fit ba siya sa hinihinging context. Okay? Baka kasi akala mo yun yung tamang sagot pero it's not grammatically, it doesn't sound grammatically correct. So, kailangan magaling ka din sa grammar. Okay? So, ito na. Last slide na yata to eh. Last 2 slides and then gagawin na natin yung mock test. There's a student who's actually gonna be waiting for me kasi nasa Australia siya right now and nakaschedule kami ng coaching ng 11:30. Yeah. Where are you from, by the way?
I'm feeling
Malayo pala yung biyahe mo, no? Are you willing to go here or?
Yeah. We don't have class or pasok every Friday and Saturday. So, most
Mm,
probably, mag-online lang Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
mm.
Tuesday, Wednesday.
Mondays we don't have classes.
Yeah. Tuesday, Wednesday.
Tuesdays are for mock tests, like computer mock. Pero we can provide like a link kung gusto mo sa bahay mo na lang
Yeah.
gawin. But on Thursdays, pag si Sir Kevin yung coach, hindi siya nagtatanggap ng virtual coaching. Pero pag ako yung naka-assign na coach, pwede kang magpa-reserve ng slot and we can do it through video call kung hindi ka makakapunta. Okay? And then Wednesday is face-to-face, Friday is face-to-face, and Saturday is face-to-face most of the time. If ever there are changes in our schedule, we will definitely post it sa mga group chats. So please be part of the group chats, okay? So how to improve your listening skills? I'm so sorry. I need to turn off. Okay. Practice daily with English podcasts and videos, like what I've mentioned earlier. Listen to different accents. Take practice tests regularly. So this is what I did. Nung nagpa-practice ako for IELTS, I just focused on one skill a week. So for example, this week, ang finocus ko lang, listening lang. Lahat ng ginagawa kong mock test, listening lang. Then the following week, puro lang ako reading. And then the following week, another week passed, puro writing naman yung finocus ko. So one skill at a time ako nagfo-focus. Because I get used, parang dun ko napansin na mas nagpo-progress nag-i-improve yung score ko kapag fino-focusan ko lang yung one skill. But now, I understand some people don't have the luxury of time to take one skill at a time for a week, di ba? So, a day na lang siguro. Kasi sabi mo, 1 week lang yung meron ka. So, isang buong araw, focus ka lang sa listening. Isang buong araw, focus ka sa writing, sa reading. And then, of course, sana makadalawang... Do you want to stay and have an interview with me?
Okay.
Yeah. Can you stay until 12:30 or hindi?
Yeah. Till, after that, I don't have any.
Okay, so at 11:30, meron akong student virtual. Magko-coaching kami. So it would take around 20 minutes. Then I'm gonna quickly eat lunch. And after that, we can proceed with your initial interview. It's like a mock interview kung saan i-assess ko yung level mo at mabibigyan kita ng initial score. So if you want, yung 11:30 to 12 mo, if you want to grab lunch and just come back here, I will be here naman hanggang 1. Tama ba? 1:30 the latest. Kasi I have to be home at 2:30. 1 hour yung biyahe eh. Gapan pa ako. Actually, 30 minutes lang yung biyahe, but with the traffic, you can't really assume that it's just 30 minutes. So usually, I give a 1 hour allowance for my transport time. But anyways, use subtitles first, then remove them. Yan. Isa to sa mga pinaka-helpful ways for you to improve your English skills. And lastly, build your vocabulary. Isa sa una kong minention kanina, vocabulary and lexical resource is the backbone of your language skills. If you don't have enough words and lexical resource, how will you be able to understand and comprehend reading passages, understand the audio, and even in writing, you can't give what you don't have. If you're not equipped with academically inclined vocabulary, how can you get a higher score in your writing and even in speaking? How can you express your thoughts accurately in certain situations, in different variations, diba? So it's really important for you to build your vocabulary. It takes time, but if you really lock in studying and improving your IELTS score, then definitely you can do it, right? Next. These are the final tips for the test day. Stay calm and focused. Do not leave blank answers. Follow word limits carefully. Use capital letters if preferred. Manage your time wisely. I will have a 5-minute break. I'm just gonna grab some water. You can stay here if you want, or you can go on a toilet break. I'll see you guys in 5 minutes. Alright, so ito na, ipapakita ko na sa inyo yung pinaka-mock test natin. Iko-connect ko lang sa Bluetooth. Nako-connect na kaya siya automatically?
I-extend din yan. Do we have, pwede kami magdala ng lapis or wala?
On the actual test? Everything will be put in the locker room. All you have to bring is yourself and glasses. Pwede glasses. Pero cellphone and all nasa locker room. Magpo-provide naman ang British Council ng pencil and paper. Yes, exactly.
Sila ako, medyo mabilis ako makinig. Kaya kapag mabilis din mawala.
I understand.
May ganun akong factor. Mabilis ko siyang hindi ko na siya. Pero pag hindi ko siyang isulat,
okay. That's why you need to practice sa mock room sana. Okay. Anong device name to? What is this? Conzer is the name of the brand. Ito kaya siya? Hindi rin. Actually, it's already on. Tapos, pinipindot siya dito. Bluetooth. Ayan. I think it got connected. Ay, ayan, nakakonect naman pala kasi dito sa isa. Okay. I-share ko lang yung screen ko para makita rin ng mga nasa Zoom.
This recording is copyright. In the IELTS test, you hear some recordings and you have to answer questions on them. You have time to read the instructions and questions and check your work. All recordings are played only once. The test is in 4 parts. Now look at part 1.
You will hear a woman asking an agent about rented accommodation. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 6.
Okay. So, 1 to 6 lang naman. So, pwede mong i-highlight. Preferred location.
Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 6.
Start na.
Good morning. How can I help you?
I'm interested in renting somewhere to live in town and was wondering what you had available.
Excellent. I'll just need to find out a bit more about what you're looking for, and then we can see what we've got. So your name is?
Anna Black.
Good, got that. And what sort of accommodation are you looking for, ideally?
Well, I don't know if this is going to be possible, but ideally a house. I live in a flat at the moment, and I've got really noisy neighbours. That's the reason I want to move.
Oh dear. And I'm afraid most of the accommodation for rent in the city centre is flats. Would you be prepared to look elsewhere? There are a lot of nice properties in the southeast.
Oh, yes, that would be really convenient for me. Quite a few of my friends are there, and it would be really close to my work.
And there's more chance of finding what you're after there. I take it you'd be looking for a furnished place, would you?
Yes.
Okay, narinig niyo ba yung sagot? What answer did you have for that? Southeast. Akala niyo, parang na-carried away kayo, no?
Parang,
Yes, exactly, exactly. Okay, balikan natin balikan natin.
yun na pala yun.
Got that. And what sort of accommodation are you looking for, ideally?
What sort of accommodation are you looking for? Preferred location. So sabi niya muna, a house. Ngayon, sasabihin na niya yung preferred location.
Well, I don't know if this is going to be possible, but
Ano sabi mo kanina? Ang hinahanap mo ay?
Something condo or...
However, ang dito, preferred location. So, hindi siya condo, apartment,
Yes,
house.
yun ang-
Kasi, yes, that's why you have to read it carefully, okay?
ideally a house. I live in a flat at the moment, and I've got really noisy neighbours. That's the reason I want to move.
Oh dear. And I'm afraid most of the accommodation for rent in the city centre is flats. Would you be prepared to look elsewhere? There are a lot of nice properties in the southeast.
Ayun, location ang hinahanap natin. There are a lot of properties in the southeast. Una, nung sinasagutan ko to kahagabi, sa totoo lang, nalito din ako doon. Pero sabi ko, yun lang kasi yung pwedeng minention yung location eh. Southeast lang eh. So probably yun na yung tamang sagot. So I shoot my shot, kahit na hindi ako 100% sure, tinype ko yung southeast. Walang eme-eme to hindi ko chinek muna yung sagot As in, sinagutan ko muna on my own.
Oh, yes, that would be really convenient for me. Quite a few of my friends are there, and it would be really close to my work.
And there's more chance of finding what you're after there. I take it you'd be looking for a furnished place, would you?
Yes.
Furnished
I know
property.
it's not always included, but I'd like to have a washing machine. I hate going to
Yes.
laundrettes. And if I'm a bit further out of the city,
Sabi niya, I hate going to laundrettes. Laundry shop. sa American English yata laundry shop. Pero sa British English kasi laundrettes. Yes, okay.
it might be a problem to find one.
I'll see what I can do. Now, how long would you need the property for, bearing in mind that the minimum is 6 months?
1 year. I don't want to chop and change too often, and that'd give me the chance to see how things work out. And then I could reassess the situation after that.
Mm-hmm. And when would you like to move in?
I've got to be out of my present place by the 30th of April.
May minention siya. I've got to be out of my place by the 30th of April. Akala mo yun ay sagot. Pero,
Then I'm going to visit my parents for a couple of weeks, so let's say 15th of May.
ayun.
And what's your current address?
15th of May, ang instruction, no more than 2 words. So, pwedeng May 15, pwede rin na 15th May. Pero grammatically correct ba ang 15th May? Parang hindi dapat off So, dapat May 15 lang. Yun yung sinasabi kong kailangan analytical ka sa pagsagot, okay?
I'd better make a note of that for our files, and I'll put that you're there only until the end of April.
56 Stone Street.
Mm-hmm. And is there a phone number I can get you on?
Yes. The best one to use is my mobile, and that's 07942 326 584.
Now, of course, we'll need a reference before we're able to proceed with any contract. Who would be able to supply you with a reference?
I'm pretty sure my employer will do that for me. I don't
Okay.
really know my...
Nakakalito, no? Kasi ang rinig natin, employee, employer. Pero kasi ang hinahanap, reference number, a reference person. So, ba't ka naman magbibigay ng reference person ng employee mo? Di ba? Automatically, iisipin mo, someone reliable. Yes, exactly. So, ang sagot natin, although parang employee yung sabi niya, pero mas fit sa context yung employer. Ayan, perfect.
Or anyone like that here.
Good. Now, let's see what we've got that might suit you. Oh, first, how much are you looking to pay?
I'm paying £650 a month at the moment, and the most I can go to is £675.
650, 675. Yon. O, di ba? Yun yung tinatawag na distractors. Kasi may mention muna siyang una na akalain mo, ay, yun na yung sagot. So, be careful.
I really can't go over that.
That shouldn't be any problem. It's a realistic figure. And can I ask what it is you do for a living?
Since I came here, I've been working for various bodies within the city as a translator. You know, for the police and the hospital.
Okay, good.
Translator with an E or translator with an O? Actually, chinek ko yung spelling O yun. Yes.
Yung accent na translator, parang E.
Yes, exactly. It gets confusing, right? Okay, let's proceed.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 7 to 10.
7 to 10. Okay. Nababasa niyo ba? So, we're looking for credit check. Address of property, address. Kailangan to, address. Viewing day and time. To check, is there a blank in the house? Is there blank nearby? So, name ng street ang hinahanap natin, ha? At saka credit check.
Now listen and answer questions 7 to 10.
Now, if we do find something, we'll need to check your ID. So we'll need to see your passport. And of course, to do the credit check, we'll need to see a bank statement in order to complete all the paperwork.
No problem. I can bring this in tomorrow.
Good. Now, we've got a small house to rent that I think might be just what you're looking for. 33 Ainsworth Street. That's...
Don't worry. I-dictate yung spelling.
Ainsworth Street.
Wait lang. Paano kung namali ka at ginawa mong lowercase? Mali pa rin yon. Kasi proper noun to eh. It's the name of the street, okay? So be careful kayo dun, ha?
Here are the details.
This looks great. Right size, right price?
Well, I could arrange for you to view it on Saturday around 4 p.m. if that's convenient.
Sounds good. I can't see any mention of a telephone in the details, though. I'd need that.
I'll look into that. And I can double check
Telephone,
when we're at
right?
the property.
And sorry, there's another thing. Do you happen to know if there's a bus stop reasonably close to the house so that I can get around easily?
Again, if I can't find out before Saturday...
Pasok siya kasi ang instruction naman, no more than 2 words or a number. So, ayan. Wala tayong na-leave na blank. Tama ba? Proceed na tayo sa part 2. Although marami
I'll
pa
check
siyang
it out when we're there.
Okay, so I'll drop by tomorrow.
Excellent.
Part 1. You now have some time to check your answers.
Okay. The company is having this meeting about fire procedures. So, yung meeting is about fire procedures. So, employees did badly in the last annual. There have been changes in the building layout. New staff have joined the company. Recent upgrade. Let's look for this. During the minor fire in January, some staff working in the factory. Okay, minor fire in January. In the fire in January, the problem with office staff. Yan, kailangan i-highlight mo yung mga
Now
hahanapin.
look at part 2.
Pakabilis naman.
You will hear a company manager
Yes.
talking to staff about procedures to follow if a fire breaks out at work. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 14.
Ayan, may time pa pala. So, this is really confusing. So, laser focus. Try nyo ring sagutin on your own, okay?
Yes.
Sagutan on your own. Zoom in ko para mabasa nyo mabuti.
Now, listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 14.
Hello, and thanks to everyone for being on time. The meeting will be fairly short and we'll only be looking at fire procedures. I had a similar meeting with the senior fire officers earlier today, but you're all here because you've volunteered to act as fire wardens for your own particular department. And for some of you, this will be your first time in the role. Although you'll probably have taken part in several fire drills since you've been here. But now the construction work is finished and we have a couple of new corridors and stairways, we need the meeting to update everyone.
A, B, or C? What's your call?
Or dahil yung una ko narinig.
Neither of your answers is correct. Ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyong paraphrase
C.
sagot. Okay, balikan natin ha.
I had a similar meeting with the senior fire officers earlier today, but you're all here because you've volunteered to act as fire wardens for your own particular department. And for some of you, this will be your first time in the...
The company is having this meeting about fire procedures because some of you are first time here. New staff have joined the company. Parang yun yung sagot. Pero, pakinggan natin ulit.
Although you'll probably have taken part in several fire drills since...
Employees did badly in the last... Pwede kasing ito din yung sagot. Kaya tayo magkakamiting kasi hindi kayo nag-perform ng maayos. Diba? Sa fire drill. Pero, pakinggan nyo yung last na sasabihin niya.
...in here. But now the construction work is finished and we have a couple of new corridors and stairways.
The construction has just finished. We have a couple of corridors and stairways.
Need the meeting to update everyone.
We need the meeting to update everyone. So, ang sagot ay, there have been changes in the building layout. Okay?
Yung dulo.
Diba? Okay. All right. Next.
And before I forget, you might have noticed a bit of upgrading last week. The handheld fire extinguishers, the standard ones on the wall, the report says they're all working well, as is the overhead sprinkler system. But the old alarm system has been replaced and should be a lot more reliable.
Bakit C yung sagot? Recent upgrade? Alarm system has been recently replaced. Replaced tsaka recent upgrade? I think that's what we're looking for, right? Okay.
Cool. Anyway, as fire wardens, you have a number of responsibilities. Okay, those wardens responsible for the factory buildings, you'll remember we had a minor fire back in January. Luckily, the fire doors around the room stopped most of the smoke from getting out, but the alarm should have been pressed a lot earlier. From what I understand, staff felt somewhat reluctant to activate it themselves and
Some of the staff were reluctant to activate them themselves. Reluctant means unwilling, right?
and we're looking for someone senior. So please ensure that everyone knows it's their responsibility to take action immediately. Can you?
So, the right answer is C. Balikan ba natin para kasing nako-confuse kayo eh. Ulitin natin.
And should be a lot more reliable. Anyway, as fire wardens, you have a number of responsibilities. Okay, those wardens responsible for the factory buildings, you'll remember we had a minor fire back in January. Luckily, The fire doors around the room stopped most of the smoke from getting out, but the alarm should have been pressed a lot earlier. From what I understand, staff felt somewhat reluctant to activate it themselves and were looking for someone senior. So please ensure that everyone knows it's their responsibility to take action immediately. Can you also make sure that if anyone new has been hired since then, that they've read the fire notices? And wardens for office departments, you will also have to have a word with your staff. When the fire alarm went off in January in that minor fire, people got out of the office building pretty quickly. That was fine. But once they were out, they stood right in front of the doors. So if the fire crews had needed to access the offices, they would have been prevented. Good to see that everyone had left their bags and stuff behind, though.
Bakit C yung sagot? Basahin natin yung number 14. In the fire in January, the problem with office staff was sabi naman niya, moved quickly naman daw, di ba? So, hindi ito yung sagot, hindi B. Tapos, sinabi din niya, but the problem was, they were placed quite near the building. May sinabi siyang ganon. So, ito yon. Although hindi ito yung saktong sinabi, pero pinaraphrase. Tapos, pinuri din niya ulit na buti na lang walang naghabol sa mga, kasi isa yun sa mga causes ng accidents eh. Yung hahabulin mo yung gamit mo, masastuck ka doon. So, ang sinabi niya, diba?
So if the fire crews had needed to access the offices, they would have been prevented. Good to see that everyone had left their bags and stuff behind, though.
So, hindi siya refused kasi good to see that everyone left their things. So, yun yung sagot. Okay? Ang hirap, no?
Yung dulo.
Yeah, it's confusing. It's really confusing. Okay. Kailangan ko siyang pakitang ganyan. So, ito yung choices. Pwede kang mamili sa A. It should be a priority for fire wardens. It will be dealt with an external specialist, or it does not require attention. Pero, we have 6 numbers left. Pwedeng madoble. Yung A, yung B, or yung C. Okay.
Before you hear the rest of the talk, you have some time to look at questions 15 to 20.
So, option A, priority. Option 2, dealt with external specialist. Option C, not important. Okay? So, alin ba dito yung ensuring there are no obstacles, checking that fire doors are easily open, showing staff how to look after each other, training staff to use fire extinguishers correctly, checking that staff are aware of evacuation points, checking that flammable liquids are properly stored. So, pakinggan natin yung audio.
Now listen and answer questions 15 to 20.
Okay, next on the agenda, there's a few aspects of fire safety that we need to go through with all you wardens. Firstly, we want to make sure that when we have the next fire drill, there's nothing blocking the way in the escape routes.
Nothing blocking the way. There are no obstacles. Sabi niya, firstly. So, ibig sabihin, firstly means priority. Diba?
No obstacles, I mean. So please have a look at that as soon as possible. We want to be able to get outside very quickly. One thing that should definitely be on your to-do list is making sure no one's locked the fire doors and that it's easy enough to get through them. Now, you might remember...
A ulit. Wait lang. Pakinggan ulit natin
Okay, next on the agenda, there's a few aspects of fire safety that we need to go through with all you wardens. Firstly, we want to make sure that when we have the next fire drill, there's nothing blocking the way in the escape routes. No obstacles, I mean. So please have a look at that as soon as possible. We want to be able to get outside very quickly. One thing that should definitely be on your to-do list is making sure no one's locked the fire doors and that it's easy enough to get through them. Now, you might remember that last year we had a fire officer come and visit and show us what to do if we see a colleague starting to suffer from the effects of smoke inhalation. Well, the same officer's coming back to lead another session. Another issue is how to handle the fire extinguishers. Someone from the local fire department is booked in to teach people how to...
Wait lang. Ang bilis, di ba?
Bilis.
Okay, so wait lang. Sa number 16, guys, ang sagot ni Benica ay A. It should be priority for fire wardens. According sa totoong sagot, C. It does not require attention. So, kaya nire-replay ko ulit eh.
One thing that should definitely be on your to-do list is making sure no one's locked the fire doors and that it's easy enough to get through them.
No one has locked the fire doors and it's easy enough to get through them. Checking that fire doors are easily opened. Okay?
Now, you might remember that last year we had a fire officer come and visit and show us what to do if we see a colleague starting to suffer from the effects of smoke
This is
inhalation.
B.
Well,
Ang sagot ko talaga dito ay A. Pero according sa totoong, nung nire-check ko na yung answers,
C.
C. So bakit? Diba? That's right. So, ang sagot ko talaga A. Kasi, di ba, from the audio, so pwedeng, minsan kasi nagkakamali din tong IELTSonline.com. Na-experience mo na yun? Yeah, nagkakamali din siya minsan. So, sige, tuloy na natin. But letter number 17B, kasi sabi niya, may mga specialist daw to show staff how to look after each other.
the same officer's coming back to lead another session. Another issue is how to handle the fire extinguishers. Someone from the local fire department is booked in to teach people how to do that. I think it would be a good idea if fire wardens and department staff attended those sessions. Let's see, what else is on the list? Oh yes, the evacuation points. The green area behind the main car park, the pavement on Hunter Street, and the unused area behind the factory car park. Fire wardens need to make sure all staff are familiar with these locations for evacuation, so please send out emails directly after the meeting. And the last point is to do with flammable liquids. I believe there have been a few concerns about where they were being stored in the warehouse, but that's been resolved now. However,
Bakit
if
C?
anyone
Kasi last. So, hindi siya priority.
has anything else to report, do let me know.
Okay. Wait lang. Problematic tayo. Okay na. Wait lang. 15A, 16A, showing staff how to look after each other. Hindi ko masyadong na-catch. Ano yung sagot niyo dito? A, B, or C? B. Pakinggan ulit natin, ha?
One thing that should definitely be on your to-do list is making sure no one's locked the fire doors and that it's easy enough to get through them.
Okay.
Now, you might remember that last year we had a fire officer come and visit and show us what to do if we see a colleague starting to suffer from the effects of smoke inhalation. Well, the same officer's coming back to lead another session. Another issue is how to handle the fire extinguishers. Someone from the local fire department is booked in to teach people how to do that. I think it would be a good idea if fire wardens and department staff attended those sessions. Let's see, what else is on the list? Oh yes, the evacuation points. The green area behind the main car park, the pavement on Hunter Street, and the unused area behind the factory car park. Fire wardens need to make sure all staff are familiar with these locations for evacuation, so please send out emails directly after the meeting. And the last point is to do with flammable liquids. I believe there have been a few concerns about where they were being stored in the warehouse, but that's been resolved now.
Ang key word doon ay a few concerns. Few concerns. At saka lastly. So, it does not require attention. Yung sagot natin sa 20. Problematic ako sa 17 eh. So, okay na. A na yung sagot sa 16. It's clear, di ba? A. Tapos sa 17 naman, B yung sagot ko originally kasi sabi niya, it will be dealt with by an external specialist. Pero sa answer key, C yung sagot. 17C? showing staff how to look after each other. Pero, wait. Oo nga. C nga yung sagot sa 17. Alam niyo kung bakit? Wala naman minention kasi sa audio to look after each other. Ang sabi niya lang, may darating na external specialist para sa suffocation. Di ba? Oo, kaya dapat i-assume natin na since wala siya sa audio, it does not require attention. So, dapat dito, matalino ka lang sa pag-analyze. Kasi ang tamang sagot talaga C. Kasi kung papakinggan mo ulit yung audio, ang sabi din sa audio, a specialist will come and show you how to attend to someone who's suffocating. Wala naman siyang sinabing showing staff how to look after each other. Kasi ang actual priority mo sa ganitong situation, sarili mo eh. 'Di ba? So, 'di ba kasi ang unang rule, i-safety mo muna yung sarili mo. Or like, find an oxygen mask. Kasi how can you help anybody if you can't breathe, right? So, yun nga. So, ayan na. Are you ready for part 3? It gets more difficult.
However, if anyone has anything
to check your answers.
Nahirapan ako dito. Sa totoo lang. Pero sige, try natin. Choose 5 answers from the box and choose the correct A to H next to questions 21 to 25. So, meron tayong different kinds of pigeons. We have Australian, rock, black-banded, Galapagos, and Nicobar. Ano yung mga description nila? Eats meat, communicates with its wings, is found in a variety of locations.
Now look at part 3.
You will hear 2 environmental studies students called Jennifer and Adam comparing their research on pigeons. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 25.
Okay. Feeds on a particular type of plant, sings to attract a mate, is endangered, brightly colored. Ang daming paraphrasing dito. Kaya pakinggan nyo mabuti ha.
Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 25.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hey, Adam, are you ready to compare notes for our presentation on pigeons for next week?
Yes, I think so. I found some really good sources describing all the different kinds of pigeons for the background section.
Me too. I knew they were a common bird, but didn't realise there were so many types. I found an interesting new study on the Australian crested pigeon. It makes a special sound to warn the rest of the flock of danger.
But a lot of birds use calls or songs to find a mate or to sound the alarm. What's special about this one?
Well, it uses its wings.
Really?
Yes, if the pigeon is startled, it makes a whistling sound when
Okay, are we agreeing? It's letter B, right?
it flies off. This sound warns other
Pero nakakalito kasi parang ito yung pwedeng sagot, no?
Oo, sinabi ko.
Oo. Oo.
pigeons in the flock that there's danger.
Interesting. I found a lot of stuff on the rock pigeons. They're the ones with the widest distribution.
Of all the pigeon species, they've been the most successful at adapting to different environments, haven't
Adapting to different environments and ang sabi ng lalaki, they have the most, parang may sinabi siya, found in a variety of locations. Yes, letter C yung sagot. Tama? Next.
In contrast to the rock pigeon, there's a pigeon in the north of Australia, the black-banded pigeon, which is restricted to one very small patch of forest. Another interesting thing about it is that unlike the typical pigeons we see on pavements and roads, it stays way up in the trees in the rainforest.
That's unusual. They're varied in terms of diet as well. The Galapagos pigeon, for example, gets all its nutrients from this one kind of cactus that grows on the island where it lives.
Really? So is there anything that pigeons can't eat?
Yes, actually. They should stay away from meat because it contains bacteria that is dangerous to them.
Oh, right. You know, I thought pigeons all looked the same. But their plumage is really variable too. The Nicobar pigeon from Indonesia is very attractive. It has beautiful metallic green feathers.
It's a wonder that
Beautiful metallic green feathers, brightly colored, right? So, ang sagot dito ay G. Okay, we're done. Next.
hunted.
Before you hear the rest of the discussion,
Pina-fast forward ko na. When people feed city pigeons, it causes them. So we're looking for people feed city pigeons. Breed more successfully, become overweight. Time's up na daw. I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. Check natin yung mga tama nating sagot. So, tama lahat sa part 1 tsaka 2, syempre. At hindi na natin naabutan. Okay, what are your observations? Do you like this kind of setup? Nakaka-help ba siya?
Yes, sobra.
Diba? Parang gusto ko kasing i-break yung norm na lecture lang, tapos puro input lang ng info. Gusto ko ng more on practical learning. And I feel like this kind of setup somehow helps. Right? Okay, so mag-mock test kayo more. Please, friend mo na si Sir Roel. Ask for the IELTS online website where you can access it using your own laptop para makapag-mock test ka na. All you have to do is log in your email, create an account, at pwede ka nang mag-mock test sa bahay. Okay? Just be very transparent. Maging honest ka rin sa sarili mo na hindi mo i-replay. At saka, kung ano talaga yung score na makukuha mo, yun na yun. Pero, if, halimbawa, uulitin mo yung pinaka-listening na yun just for the sake of practicing, pwede naman. Kasi you can navigate on the website on your own. Okay? So anyways, tatawagan ko yung isa kong student na naghihintay in 5 minutes. Okay? And then we will proceed at 12.
12.
Yes, okay?
I'm going back here as well.
Yes. So sa mga nasa bahay, si Reynalyn, Valerie, RG, Frederick, it was really nice talking to you again, guys. Hopefully, bigyan nyo rin ako ng feedback kung gusto nyo ng more on these kinds of lectures and classes para alam ko rin na kung ano yung i-incorporate ko sa mga next nating lectures. Okay, sa susunod, reading naman. Yun talaga yung mahirap yung reading Okay, I hope to see you guys again tomorrow and I'll be ending this meeting. See ya!